Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Vox Caster. I'm your host Dan, and on today's episode we're going to be bringing you tournament information, the new September contests, and that big juicy GW preview that they did yesterday. So hold on tight and let's fill you in. So for the tournament overviews coming up, we got the next installment of the GZ Eternal War series on September 19th, and followed up by Bolters and Heretics FAll Bash on October 3rd. There'll be info in the description below for all of those details. Next, we have the September contest giveaway. So the last 2 months we've been doing some start collecting boxes, but for this month we're going to do something a little differently. We're going to do our normal giveaway where you jump on our Facebook page, you're going to find a post, you're going to give it a like, you're going to leave it a comment. But instead of a start collecting box, we're actually going to be doing a $60 gift certificate for an online orders for the Comic Hunter. And on top of that, we got a second giveaway for you guys. This one, we're going to make it work a little bit harder for it. This one, we're going to be putting your painting skills at work. So what I'm going to need from you guys is a picture of a character model. So essentially it's going to have to be obviously 3 color minimum, hopefully something a little bit nicer for a contest like this. But the catch on this one is essentially you're going to post your picture on the post, and it's whichever picture gets the most likes. We're actually going to be winning yourselves a $40 Comic Hunter online gift certificate. So let's see who has the maddest skills in painting, or hey, whoever has the most friends, right? But make sure to be entered in any of these competitions, please get over to our Facebook page, give the page a like, and follow it. Because, hey, why not? If you're enjoying what we're bringing you guys, this way you get notified faster on when it comes out. And now for the big news from the big preview over the weekend from Games Workshop. So, starting off, it was more or less more information for 9th edition 40k. So the first thing they jumped on was the Necrons release. So we already knew that Necrons and Space Marines were the first Codexes to be coming out. So they dove a little bit more into it, and they actually released a couple more new models. So what I'll be doing for the rest of this is actually going on the Warhammer community website, and I'm going to be going down the post and going through all the stuff that they actually covered in the episode. So the first thing that they're showing is the Uncanny Artificers. The way this reads is each time a model with this code would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, roll 1d6. On a 5+, that wound is not lost. Each time a unit with this code is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 wound roll when making that unit's attacks. Then, when the protocol of the Undying Legions become active for your army, even if every unit in your army, excluding Dynasty Agents and Satan Shard units, has this code, you can select both of that command protocol's directives instead of just one. So it looks like they're starting to give some more buffs to the units. It kind of reminds me of like it's Space Marines whenever you have your doctrines. And I'm guessing you're going to probably see a little bit more of this in each of the codexes coming out, or at least hopefully we do see more stuff like that just to give the extra little buffs to maintain. Next one they have right here is the Protocol of the Conquering Tyrant. Directive 1. Add 3 inches to the range of the unit's aura abilities to a maximum of 12 inches, and increase the range of the following abilities units by 3 to a maximum of 12. Lord's Will, My Will Be Done, Rites of Reanimation. Directive 2. This unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back, but if it does, then until the end of the turn, each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, subtract 1 from the attacker's rolls. Now for a relic, it seems, this one's going to be for a Chronomancer model only. In your shooting phase, you can select 1 enemy unit within 18 inches of the bearer. Until the start of your next turn, half advance rolls and charge rolls made for that unit. That's actually really good considering some of the stuff they've been previewing lately has been close combat oriented. And I'm going to be honest, like some of the stuff that they've been showing is pretty nasty. And again, where it's a smaller board size, you're going to start seeing more turn 1 charges, and it's going to destroy a lot of armies, honestly. One thing that I actually kind of find interesting is in the codexes, it seems like they're going to have some updated rules or just new rules altogether for actually the Crusade. For what they preview here, it's actually going to be one of the requisition points that you can actually spend. This one's called the Slow Decay of the Self. This one is purchase the requisition after a battle in which your Crusade army contained 1 or more units with the Destroyer Cults keyword. Select 1 Lord or Overlord model that was also part of that Crusade army. Remove that model from your order of battle and replace it with a Destroyer Cult character model from the same dynasty. You cannot purchase this requisition if doing so would cause your total power level to exceed your Crusade Forces supply limit. The newly added Destroyer Cult character model stats with the same number of experience points as the character replaced and immediately gains the appropriate number of battle honors of its ranks. So I am hoping that this is going to be something that you're going to see in every single codex, where a lot of people right now are enjoying Crusade a lot, like myself included. Like I've probably put more games into Crusade than I've actually put in just straight up 9th edition playing missions. It's a lot of fun, and if the codexes can give you more than what's in the core rulebook, it's going to make that army feel just that much more special even when doing Crusade. Next up is the Silent King model. So they gave us his actual stat line. No stats as far as weapons go, but hey, he has a pretty mean stat line. We're looking at movement 8, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, toughness 7, wounds for 16, 6 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up saves. And for the pillars on the side of him, stat line being also 8 movement, weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, tough 5, 5 wounds, 1 attack, leadership 10, and a 3 up saves. And I'm honestly thinking with those, are going to honestly probably give him some buffs as far as making saving throws. And looking at them, I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to push out some firepower also. Now, following the Silent King, the new models that they've revealed is the Ophidian Destroyers. These are what I was saying a little bit earlier about the close combat units. When I was looking at these guys' stat lines, my god, once these things get into close combat, they are going to wreck face. So, units going to be considering anywhere from 3 to 6 models, movement 10, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, 4 strength, 4 toughness, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, 10 leadership, 4 up save. 4 up strength, 4 up toughness is pretty much any generic. But when you're actually looking at their reap blades, melee, strength plus 2, so you're automatically getting your 6 plus strength there. AP minus 4, 3 flat damage. 3 flat damage honestly is huge. You're going to chew through anything at all. Primaris are gone. Even with Terminators going up to 3 wounds, they're gone in a single shot. Now, just honestly, hands down, I would take a 3 flat damage over a D6 wound any day. For next weapons, they actually have their Threshers, also melee, strength user, so we're looking back at strength 4. AP still minus 3, 2 flat damage, but each time the bearer fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon. And the next one is for the Claws, again, strength user, AP minus 1, 1 damage, but each time the bearer fights, it makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon. As far as abilities go, we have Hardwire for Destruction. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll hit rolls of 1, which is going to be huge. Then Hyperphase Reap Blades. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack with a Hyperphase Reap Blade, an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores 1 additional hit. Whip Coil Bodies. Each time a melee attack is made against this unit, subtract 1 from that attack's hit roll. Again, it's like these guys just seem like they're going to be able to hit so much easier, and they're going to be able to dodge that much more attacks, and the survivability of that, it's huge. And then Tunneling Horrors. During deployment, you can set this unit underground instead of setting up on the battlefield. If you do, then during the reinforcement steps on one of your movement phases, you can set this unit up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from enemy models. And again, you are able to pretty much essentially deep strike it without spending any CPs. Honestly, 5 power level, and you can always kind of translate it to what you're roughly going to think the actual points cost is going to be. I honestly think you're going to probably see these quite well. And if I remember reading a little bit on the new Chronomancers and that's coming out, they're supposed to be giving buffs to these guys that's going to help you get closer, faster, and hit harder. I'm not sure if this is actually going to be on this one right here, but we'll see as we're going down. Next model they release is one that people have been waiting for a while. Well, at least the Necron fans. But brand new flayed ones finally in plastic. And yeah, these are guys that are pretty much of nightmares, but honestly they've made them what they're supposed to look like. When you have them there with just flayed skin all over their bodies, well, it gives them their name. One of the rules that they actually showed us is called Flesh Hunger. Each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack against an enemy non-vehicle unit, an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores 1 additional attacks. Next up, we got the Chronomancer. And one of the rules they preview for him is the Chronometron. In your command phase, you can select one friendly Dynasty unit within 9 inches of the model. Until the start of your next command phase, you can reroll charge rolls made for that unit, and models in that unit have a 5-up invulnerable saves. So this is actually what I was talking about with the unit I was talking to a little bit earlier. It's team this guy up with them, 5-up invuln saves, rerolling charge rolls. It's going to be a nasty combo. Next one we have is the Psychomancer. Ability for him that they previewed is the Nightmare Shroud. It's an aura ability. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, subtract 1 from the leadership characteristics of models in that unit, and subtract 1 from combat attractions tests taken for that unit. So, with the stuff that they're showing for Necrons, it almost makes me regret not starting them like I wanted to. But it's not like I need another army to begin with. So next up, we got the Space Marines release. So, we got a closer look at what the book actually looks like. And also, like the Necrons, are starting off with some of the Crusade stuff. So, this one's called Even in Death I Shall Serve. For 1 requisition point, purchase this requisition when an Adeptus Astartes character unit, excluding vehicle units from your Crusade force, gain their second or subsequent battle scar. Remove that character from your order of battle and replace it with a Dreadnought, excluding named characters, from the same chapter. You can only add a Psychic Dreadnought if the character is replacing was a Psyker. You cannot purchase this requisition if doing so would cause your total power level to exceed your Crusade Force supply limit. The new Dreadnought starts with the same number of experience points as the character it replaced and gains the appropriate number of battle honors for its rank. Following that, we got some new rules for the High Chaplains of the Space Marine chapters. This one's called Master of Sanctity. So, the abilities are as follows. A Master of Sanctity model has the following ability. Master of Sanctity. This model knows 1 additional litany from the litanies of battle. In your command phase, if this model is on the battlefield, it can recite 1 additional litany it knows that has not already been recited by a friendly model this turn. Next one is Rules and Warlord traits. You can give a Master of Sanctity model the Emperor's Judgment Relic instead of giving them a Chapter Relic. In addition, you can give them the Wise Orator Warlord trait instead of giving them another Warlord trait. Wise Orator Warlord trait. Each time this Warlord recites a litany, add 1 to the roll to see if it is inspiring. Next one, each time this Warlord is selected to use a Commanding Ordinator stratagem, the stratagem costs 1 command point. The Emperor's Judgment Relic. Each time an attack is made against the bearer, your opponent cannot reroll the hit rolls, cannot reroll the wound rolls, and cannot reroll the damage rolls. Next one, the bearer has the following ability, the Emperor's Judgment Aura. While enemy units within 6 inches of the bearer, each time a morale test is taken for that unit, roll 1 additional d6 and discard the lowest result. The next new model they actually previewed is a captain with a master-crafted heavy bolt rifle. And what better for him to lead is the new heavy intercessor squads. For stat lines, pretty straightforward. Movement 5, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, tough 5, 3 wounds, 2 attacks, 3 for the sergeant, leadership 7, 8 for the sergeant, and a basic 3-up save. Weapons that they can be equipped with is the Executioner Bolt Rifle, 42-inch range, heavy 1, strength 5, AP -2, 2 damage. The Executioner Heavy Bolter, 42-inch range, heavy 2, 5 strength, -2, 3 damage. Heavy Bolt Rifle, 36-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage. Your Heavy Bolter, 36-inch range, heavy 3, strength 5, AP -1, damage 2. Hellstorm Bolt Rifle, 30-inch range, assault 3, strength 5, AP 0, damage 1. And the Hellstorm Heavy Bolter, 30-inch range, heavy 4, strength 5, AP 0, 2 damage. Next up, they're previewing the multi-kit part for the new Eradicators. And the stat line for the multi-meltas, as people have been seeing already, is going to be a range of 24, heavy 2, strength 8, AP -4, damage D6. But instead of half range, rolling 2d6, discarding the lowest. The new ability is each time an attack made with this weapon targets a unit within half range, that attack has a damage characteristics of d6 plus 2, which honestly, hands down, I honestly think this is going to be better in every way possible. And on top of being heavy 2 rather than heavy 1, it's going to be in many people's list. And after that is preview of the multi-kit part for the Blade Guard veterans and the Assault Intercessors. And the first thing you see, and a lot of people was hoping for, Sergeant holding a Thunderhammer. Next up for new models is the new Storm Speeder. It's one of 3 kits. You either have the Hail Strike, the Hammer Strike, or the Thunder Strike. These are more or less just the Primaris sized land speeders, but by looking at the stats, they are going to hit hard. The rules they have previewed here is actually going to be for the Hammer Strike. So it's actually going to have a degrading chart. So starting off, it's going to have a 16-inch movement, weapon skill, ballistic skill of 3+, strength 5, tough 6, 10 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. Then it actually moves down to 12 move, 3 weapon, 4 ballistic, stays at 5 and 6 for stuff and toughness. Attacks goes down to 2, everything else stays the same. And last profile, movement 8. The ballistic skill goes down to 5, 1 attack, everything else stays the same. For weapons, you have the Hammer Strike Missile Launcher, range 36, heavy 2, strength 8, AP -3, 3 damage. There we're seeing the flat damage again, which again, I agree is perfect. Next one is the Crackstorm Grenade Launcher, range 18, assault 1, strength 6, AP -1, D3 damage. And the last one is the Melta Destroyer, 24-inch range, heavy 3, strength 8, -4, D6, and also has that ability where half range will be D6 plus 2 for damage. Now moving away from Necrons and Space Marines, they actually gave us a little glimpse of the next 4 books that's going to be coming in, hopefully by the end of the year. First up, we have the Blood Angels, followed by Space Wolves, Death Watch, and Death Guard. The only new character that actually previewed off from any of the codexes is actually a Death Guard Terminator Lord. And my hopes for, as being a Death Guard player, is going to be a character that's actually going to give you some rerolls of hits or wounds. Because as of right now, all we have is a Demon Prince and a Chaos Lord to give us any sort of rerolls, but the only downfall about the Chaos Lord is he doesn't come with discussing resilience. It's something that you actually have to pay command points to give him. And the last thing on the list is actually the Imperial Armor Compendium. So, as a lot of rumors have been going around and we've all heard, is GWs are going to be releasing some of the Forge World rules. So, in what I'm thinking is, with this is actually going to be taking the whole entire Forge World line, and this is going to be GW's take on the actual rule set. How much of a change they're actually going to be bringing to it, I really don't know. I don't think they're going to be touching too much on it, but only time will tell. So that was all the information from Saturday's preview. Now to finish off this week's episode will be actually for the pre-releases coming up for Games Workshop. So this week's going to be round 2 of the Lumineth Realm Lords release. Starting off, we're going to have the Dawn Riders. Then there's going to be the kit to make one of either the Stoneheart King or the Spirit of the Mountain. Then there's also going to be the Alarith Stone Mage, and lastly, the Stone Guard. So as far as my knowledge goes, this will actually be the rest of the release for the Lumineth Realm Lords. So don't forget, if you want to get your hands on the new Lumineth Realm Lord models, head on over to the Comic Hunter on Facebook and send them a message on with the stuff you want to pre-order, and they'll get that stuff taken care of for you. So, just want to say a big thank you for joining me on this episode of Vox Caster. So, if you enjoy what you're hearing and you like what we're doing, please give us a like and a comment on our YouTube page, and jump over to our Facebook page and give us a like and start following. And like I said earlier in the episode, you'll be up to date with all the news that we bring you guys. Alright, till next week, have a good night.